gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully.
Hello, once again, my name is Omobola Stephen, and welcome to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Now, if you want to catch up some of my missed episodes, you can go online and search for Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen on any podcast distribution platforms, and you'll have a worthwhile learning experience. Also, you can catch up with me on all my social media platforms: on Facebook, Omobola Stephen; on LinkedIn, Omobola Stephen; on Instagram, Omobola_S. And now I have a guest on the show with me. We want to talk about public speaking. I know you and I want to know more about public speaking. I especially want to know much about this topic. I have Kumarasamy Brenden, who is the founder of Master Talk. Now, he helps the world master the art of public speaking. Welcome with me on Live Well by Omobola Stephen, Brenden Kumarasamy.
Thanks for having me, Omobola. It's so great to be here.
All right, it's a pleasure. So, who is Brenden here?
Who is Brenden? That's a good question.
Did I pronounce your name well?
Yeah, you got it right. It's you
All
got
right.
it correct. Yeah.
All right. So can I meet you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to introduce
All right.
myself. So yeah, my name's Brenden. I'm the founder of Master Talk, which is a YouTube channel I started to help the world master the art of communication. And how I got started is when I was in university. I used to do these things called competitions, Omobola. And what happened when I was doing these competitions, I realized that I didn't really like sports like most guys, who like basketball or soccer or rugby. It wasn't really my thing. But what I did instead is I applied the same analogies, the same spirit of competition, but to presentations. So for 3 years, I presented hundreds of times, coached dozens of people on public speaking. So when I finished university and I started working corporate, I just asked myself a simple question, which is, how do I make a difference in the world? And that's when the idea for Master Talk came, because I just realized that a lot of the communication content on YouTube was really bad. So I started making videos in my basement. One thing led to another, and here we are today.
Oh, great. So how's the journey been so far?
It's been great. I think, lots of fear and insecurity at the beginning, because I started Master Talk when I was very young. I started at 22 or something.
Wow.
And a lot of people who are communication experts have PhDs or master degrees. So it's very intimidating for me to get started. But I think if there's anything I've learned, I learned from the journey, it's
That's right.
Your most precious resource is time, not money, not fear. So don't waste it. I think that's a big thing. I could have waited 5 years for starting Master Talk, and imagine the thousands of people who wouldn't have benefited from my content. I wouldn't be on the show, right? So I'm glad I started early.
Right. Thank you for starting early. Now, I want to learn public speaking. How should I go about it? Is there any formal training?
Yeah, absolutely. But, the goal of Master Talk is that you don't really, especially if you can't afford a speech coach, you can start for free.
Oh.
And the advice is simple. I call it the puzzle method. Public speaking is like a jigsaw puzzle. You know those 1,000-piece puzzles you kind of put together with your family? Do you do that where you live? Yeah, you know that. Okay, so if I asked you, Omobola, let's say you're working on these puzzles.
I do understand.
Okay, awesome. So which pieces would you start with first if you were doing this puzzle? Hard question, don't worry.
Oh.
Let's say the puzzles? Those
That's
puzzles?
right.
If you were doing a puzzle, which pieces would you start with first?
Of course, I'll try with the easiest puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. And then the easiest puzzle, usually you want to start with the corner pieces first, right? Because the corners, like the edges, are super easy to find.
That's right. That's
right. Right? So now the question to ask ourselves is, why don't we do that in public speaking? Right? We have a presentation at work, in business, at school. So what do? We start with the middle first. We shove a bunch of content. We ramble through our presentation. And then we get to the last slide, and it sounds something like this. Thanks. That's probably 95% of the presentations I hear. But the way that you fix this is you treat it like a puzzle. You start with the edges first. Practice your introduction 50 times. Not 3 times, not 5 times. Do it 50 times. It's actually not that hard. It'll take you an hour, right? It's only a minute for each introduction. Same thing with the conclusion. What's a great movie with a terrible ending? Terrible movie, last time I checked. Same time, same thing. 50 times the conclusion. And then after that, after 2 hours of practice, you'll look at your presentation, you'll go, wow, I'm really good at this public speaking thing. Then tackle the middle. That's the secret. So use puzzle on one presentation. So for you, Omobola, your coaching tip is make a presentation on your own podcast, because your podcast, and you need to promote it all the time, right? You need to talk about it. So you need to make a presentation on it. And the beauty of that presentation is you can do it forever. You can do the same one over and over and over again. That's how you master public speaking. One presentation.
That's a good one. So let's talk confidence. Let's talk self-esteem and insecurity issues. I know that's very important, especially for someone aspiring to be a public speaker. Now, what advice or how can you offer your professional insight?
Absolutely. So at the end of the day, confidence stems from 2 areas. That's it. 1, preparation. We know that, right? It's obvious. If you practice more times, you'll be more confident in anything that you do. Whether it's dating, whether it's starting a business, whether it's cooking, it doesn't matter what it is. The better you get, the more you practice, the better you become. Simple. I'm no exception. I started coaching executives when I was very young, probably 23. But the reason they listen to me is because I prepare a lot. Like, I've probably presented 1,000 times now, literally 1,000 times. That's how much experience I have. So that's what I recommend people do, is preparation. The other thing, though, that not many people talk about, and it's not breathing, right? It's not drinking a glass of water. It's not power posing. I think all of that's useless, actually. I think the secret is having a belief system. Why are you giving this presentation to begin with? What are you even trying to achieve? Most people don't stand for anything. Think about me. You think I was scared to coach those executives when I first started? Obviously, I was pissing my pants. So why did I do it anyways? Why did I push through the fear anyways? I pushed through it because 16-year-old girls and boys who want to learn master talk, want to learn public speaking, well, they can't afford me. So the only way to get to them is to train people like you or executives. They need to give me money so I can use the financial resources, because I'm sure you've seen the videos, to make the high quality stuff I make today.
That's right.
Or else, so it's not like I'm just going to pretend to be confident for these people. No. I need to force myself to be confident. I need to figure it out, or else the girls and boys in the world will never learn public speaking.
That's confidence very key. Thank you so much for that. So, are there any options if I don't like public speaking? Do you have any options?
Options if you don't like public speaking, for sure.
Yeah. Is there any options?
Here's one option. There's only one option to choose from. The option is understand that public speaking is a lot more than just presentations. You know, Omobola, when we think about public speaking, we think about a dude or a gal on stage speaking to 5,000 people. That is not what public speaking is. Public speaking is communication, and communication is everything. It's the way you talk to your spouse. It's the way you talk to your kids. It's the way that you get dinner with your friends. It's the way that you talk to your family. The way you order pizza for a delivery. Everything you do is communication, right? So you don't really have a choice, but I'd rather you ask this question to help you think about it. And the question is, how would the world change if you were an exceptional speaker? That is the key question people need to ask themselves. And the answer that people will come up with is different. The answer I'll come up with will be, I would be a YouTuber. But the answer somebody else would come up with, we'll say, I always argue with my my significant other all the time, with my family. If I communicated clearly, I would have less problems in my life. We all have reasons to master communication. The goal is to find yours and master it in the way that works for you. But there's no other option. You need to master communication.
So how can we go about that?
Simple.
Do you have any training on that?
Yeah, of
because
course.
I know communication is very important, as I said. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I have coaching pros, all that stuff, but I think the goal for people that I would remind, especially if you can't afford a speech coach, I recommend 3 things. One, answer the question. Okay, how would the world change if you were an amazing speaker? Okay, start to ponder that. Okay, maybe you'll get to travel to more places. Maybe make a list for yourself. I would pause the podcast, start making a list. Second thing, once you've done that, join the Toastmasters Club. Toastmasters is very cheap. Okay, it's not like a speech coaches charge a lot of money, right? Because I train a lot of executives. But what I recommend for most people, Toastmasters is great. They have a club in every city. It costs like $80 US for a year. It's probably cheaper in developing countries. You have a full community of people who want to master public speaking. It's a lot of fun. I've used it. I recommend it. It's great. And then the third thing is, what do you do on a daily basis? That exercise I recommend is called the random word exercise. You just wake up, you pick random words, and you make presentations out of them. Couch, camera, tree, basement. That's it. Make random presentations, and I promise you in 30 days, you'll be a whole different person.
Oh, right. It's been Lawali Omobola Stephen. Now I'm having a talk show on public speaking with Brenden Kumarasamy. He is the founder of Master Talk. Now, Brenden, what fondest memory do you have in your public speaking engagement?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. I would say lots to choose from.
I know.
But I think the biggest one was a pro bono workshop I gave for a group of young women leaders between the ages of 9 and 16. The first time I presented, I was really bad. They don't want to hear the old guy, which was me in this case. I know it's weird. I'm the young guy here, but over there, I'm the geezer. I'm like the old has been. But anyways, they didn't want to hear an old guy give a presentation about public speaking 8 a.m. on a Sunday, right? I get it. But what I learned from that was it wasn't their fault that they didn't like me. It was my fault for not entertaining them. Right? That's the key. Because I was so complex. I was very insecure and I started as a speaker. I would talk about my accomplishments. Oh, I worked for this company. I did this client work. 9-year-olds don't know what that is. They go, what's a CEO? I don't know. Teach me something else. And that's the key. So the second year I went back, it was really fun. I brought a bouquet of roses. I had pictures of roses on slides. It was a lot of fun. A lot of them loved it. A lot of the kids loved it. And it was a great experience.
Wow.
And it taught me that to be successful, you really need to listen to your audience. Because I realized with them, a lot of speech coaches in my industry, they're very old, they're very boring, very academic. Whereas with me, it was more about saying, how do I appeal to a younger generation and people who are excited, who have a lot of energy? And those are the people I want to serve. So yeah, I've been able to do that.
That's important. Oh,
challenges is a daily thing. And I'm sure you have your challenges managing your family.
Of course, on a regular basis. Well, it's all about the mindset, as you said.
Absolutely. We're great. I'm grateful to be here. I was.
All right. So can we just talk about this mindset of a thing? Yeah, I think it's very important.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I'm happy to add on to that. Yeah. So the way that I think about this is this idea that perspective frees us from the chains of constant complaining. What does that mean? That means that the more perspective we have about the world, how everyone else is living, the faster and better we become as individuals. The more effective we become in what we do, because we start to live more positive lives. And that's same thing with me. I had a bunch of challenges this year because of COVID. I lost a lot of money because of public speaking engagements. A lot of my speaking engagements got canceled.
I understand.
I couldn't go to conferences. Well, anyways, the key is I had to reinvent. Life is beautiful. Who cares?
Right.
It's just I'm still alive. I got food on the table.
Right.
It's not like I lost all my revenue. Right? And, now I make more money than I did before COVID. It's all about thinking about how you reinvest that opportunity, how you think about that.
That's right. So we need to reinvent the wheel, constantly also challenging our mindset or belief system. That's very important.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's what you've done. Wish you best of luck. Now, do you have any projects you're working on?
Yeah, for sure. If you want to get in touch, I
Mm,
usually like to give a book recommendation before I plug, and the book recommendation is Scott Harrison,
mm,
Thirst. So Thirst by Scott Harrison, I think is the number one book on storytelling and public speaking, because
mm,
I like the way that Scott applies philanthropy to impact and how he uses his voice to make a difference. So I think he's a great person to read
mm,
and follow. And for me, if you want to check out my stuff, Master Talk's the best way of doing that. All you have to do is go
mm.
on YouTube and type Master Talk in one
Oh,
word,
I
and
know.
the audience.
I like your stuff. Well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done. I wish you best of luck always.
Likewise.
Now, do you want to talk about, yes, do you want to talk about resiliency and positive attitude when it comes to public speaking?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely attitude, resilience, positivity is very important. And I think that what the idea and how you approach this that most speakers don't do is they don't have enough dinners with the people who listen to them. And I started Master Talk like most of us. Thought it was a
Hmm,
stupid idea. I know it sounds crazy today, but when I started the show, it was ridiculous. Like, who would listen
that's
to
right.
public speaking videos? I had like 15 subscribers. I was
Hmm,
making videos in my mother's basement. Like, I didn't think it was.
hmm,
But the difference, Omobola, is that I knew the 17 people who were watching me. The 13 people who were watching me. I knew them personally. I had dinners with all of them. I understood them. And they all told me to keep doing it, and they were watching every single week. That's
wow.
what that's what led to the
Wow.
insight. That's what allowed me to understand to go, okay, I have a market
Hmm,
here. People actually want to listen to it. And obviously
hmm,
now it's not 13 anymore. It's grown from there. But that's the advice I have for people is you need to talk to your audience. I know this sounds crazy, but most people don't do it. They leave their analysis to data and spreadsheets. They don't actually have food with the person they talk to. And I'm very big on that, especially after
hmm,
COVID's over. But even before COVID, you can still get Zoom calls, you can still talk to them, reach out, have conversations, and let them tell you why your ideas matter. Because for me,
hmm.
from our perspective, I'm sure when you started the show, you're like, who's going to listen to me? But then,
Definitely.
right? But then after 2 weeks later, there's, I don't know, I'm just saying something random. There's a single mother in the continent of Africa who goes, Omobola, you changed my life.
Hmm.
Before you, I was,
No.
and then you go, wait a
You
sec.
got it. You got
He's
it.
like,
No, no. Don't you say it to
Omobola, I love your laugh. It's so great. And the way your hair is so awesome. And then you're just like, really? Never thought of it that way. Maybe I should keep creating content. Yeah, I do actually. And the
Hmm.
parting word is simple. It's be insane or be the same. If you want to be like everyone else, that's totally fine. But if you want to make a difference in the
Hmm.
world, you need to be crazy. Don't you find it odd that a 22-year-old kid like me started a YouTube channel? Not
Hmm.
on vlogs or pranks. That's what normal people do. I started a YouTube channel, public speaking communication tips. And then I went on to coach C-level executives the following
Hmm.
year. But I still live in my mother's basement. I
Hmm.
karaoke in 8 different languages. I
Hmm.
dance alone in my basement an hour a day. I
Hmm.
don't own a car, and I love Justin Bieber. How does any of this make any sense at all? And
Hmm.
that, Omobola, is the point. When
And that's
every
what makes sense.
right, exactly. So you already understand that. But that's the
That's
point I'm
right.
driving. When every decision in your life makes sense to the only person that matters, which is you, you'll
That's right.
probably be very
That's right.
successful.
Until I will Omobola Stephen now. This really worthwhile discussion. I hope some other time we can do this again.
Absolutely. Thank you so. I love your
Oh,
laugh, by the way. Thanks, sir.
thank you
Great
for
to
your
meet
expert knowledge on public speaking. I wish you best of luck always in your projects. Well, let's do this some other time. Till I come your way, I need you to stay safe always and remember to always live life and live it fully. It's bye for now.
Posting pictures on the gram so other people know that we're more than friends. And ever since you came around, I've never been sober, always in my head. Met you at a time when I was so low, went from just talking to taking you home.